Guess who's back in the news? Luigi Mangione, amassing some $300,000 in an online legal fund on GiveSendGo. $300,000. They are still sending money. His lawyer is acknowledging that, hey, yes, they are going to use that money for his legal fees. As a matter of fact, they have a goal of $500,000, which they are quickly getting to. People are in support of Luigi Mangione and still sending him money.
Whether or not you want to believe it, you're looking at a man, his name is Luigi Mangione. Is the only American that millionaires and billionaires fear to this day. Yeah man, this is the guy that all of them fear that. This is the man that send billionaires and millionaires. Yeah, and them children, even them children, them start scoop off of the internet. You know, now all the rich people always show them kids and you know, and people you know with school. All of these things now is out of public domain because of this guy. So right now, in February 2025, you know, normally American president always said they create jobs, you know, in America for the American people, but it's the opposite that's going on right now in America. Yeah, so you know, so this is the great betrayal, Donald Trump's war on federal workforce, veterans and social security. So traditionally, when a new president takes office, there is at least a public performance of prioritizing job creation, economic growth, and improving the lives of citizens. Even the reality is that the rich continue to amass wealth at the expense of the working class. There is usually an effort to maintain the illusion of progress. However, under Donald Trump's second term as president, the mask has been completely removed. There's no pretense, no illusion, just open warfare against America's workers. Instead of fulfilling promises of prosperity, Trump is presiding over one of the most aggressive purges of federal workforce in modern history. Long-time government employees, some who have dedicated decades of services to their country, have been fired at alarming rates, given just 30 minutes to clear their desk, their cubicles and their livelihoods. Some even voted for him. Most of them voted for him unknowingly, signing their own pink slips at the ballot box. Some people laughing at them when they're shedding their tears. They say, suck it up. You were warned. You were too dumb to see. You thought that everything that he was saying was only going to affect one group of people. Now you're feeling what it feels like to be terrorized by your government. They thought they were voting for a leader who would create jobs, someone who would drain the swamp and fix what they believe was a bloated, inefficient government. Instead, they are the ones who've been drained, fired with little warning, no severance and no plans for their futures. Trump's real plan: dismantling the government, attacking veterans and gutting social security. If people thought this was just about trimming government excess, they were mistaken. This is a coordinated attack, not just on federal employees, but on the working class, the elderly, and even America's veterans. And the very people Trump's once claimed to champion, Social Security, Medicaid, are on the chopping block. Trump and his billionaire-backed administration are pushing to gut Medicaid and Social Security, two of the most critical safety nets for Americans. These programs aren't just for the poor, they are for a lifeline for millions of working class Americans who pay them into their entire lives. Some people say you have zero sympathy for fools. They were warned. The alternative was much better, but they chose the latter because they love hate. They love to see people being oppressed. They love to see people being hurt, not knowing that the same thing that they wanted to happen to others would happen to them. Now that the security is under threat because the administration sees it as a burden rather than a responsibility. Veterans are no longer a priority. It was once a sacred American principle that those who serve in uniform would be taken care of, that their sacrifices would be honored, not dismissed. Yet policies have done the unthinkable, slashing resources for veterans while allowing billionaires and corporations to hoard more wealth than ever before. Veterans who fought for this country are now fighting for their benefits, their health care, and even their dignity. Job creation, more like job destruction. While past presidents, Republican and Democrats alike, at least made superficial efforts to invest in infrastructure, technology and new industries, Trump has instead chosen to eliminate jobs. Government agencies are being gutted. Workforce have been gutted. Workers are being laid off with no alternative plans in place, and all the while the billionaire class continue to reap tax cuts, loopholes and government subsidies. Like Elon Musk, the man who's behind it. A nation in crisis. How long before people realize the truth? There's an irony in all of this. Many of the very people suffering under Trump's policy were among his strongest supporters. Some federal employees who backed him in 2016 and 2024 are now realizing too late they voted for a president who doesn't care about them. They believe in the rhetoric, but now they face the consequences firsthand. Here's a video of a man who shows cubically a federal employee with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and his family. And he's crying that, he has lost his job. And the comments were, they were not so nice. And they were like, cry me a river and everything. And they, you want us to sorry for you? No sympathy here. Cry me a river. And if you can't handle it, ask African Americans how they cope with all it being terrorized by the same government now that has been terrorizing you because you are white and you thought that the evil could not reach you because you wanted it to reach others, not knowing that you were signing up for your own torture. The question is, how long will it take the people to wake up? How long before those who have lost their jobs, their health care, and their security realize that Trump's America was never about bringing jobs back or making America great again? It was always about consolidating wealth and power at the top, ensuring that billionaires like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and their ilk could continue their unchecked domination while everyday Americans suffer. The working class, black, white, Hispanic, veterans, federal workers, unemployed, is now feeling the weight of policies designed to break them down. The betrayal is undeniable, and the consequences are real, and the fight for America's future is only just beginning. Because whether or not you want to believe it, the fire is lit, but you can't see it as yet. So welcome to February 2025, where America is just on edge. It's practically dangling off a cliff with a blindfold on. If tension were currencies, the country would be richer than Elon Musk. But unfortunately, that's not how inflation works. From federal employees nervously clutching their coffee cups, one of their paychecks will arrive, to everyday citizens watching law and order erode like an abandoned sandcastle. This is a time unlike any other in American history. And for the first time ever, the pendulum of fear hasn't swung towards the poor, the middle class, or even the overworked government workers. It has made a full U-turn, and it's now hovering ominously over the billionaire class. Yes, the untouchables, the ones who once built bunkers for imaginary apocalypse, are now actually locking their doors in broad daylight. The elite, those who usually feast and fillet mignon and wash it down with 100-year-old wine, are suddenly scanning the streets like paranoid corner store clerks. Why? Because of one man. A man who had every reason to stay in his wealthy lane, enjoys riches, and bask in the privilege of upper crust. Instead, he chose a path no one saw coming, one that sent shockwaves through America. That man is Luigi Mangione, a name now whispered with a mist of awe and terror in the wealthiest circles. This isn't just any crime. This is the crime, one of the biggest hits in American history. Luigi didn't rob a bank, nor did he pull off a Ponzi scheme to fleece pensioners. That Wall Street's job. No, he did something that made the rich tremble in a way they never had before. He killed a millionaire. Not just any millionaire, one of their own, a powerful figure who thought their wealth was impenetrable shield. But Luigi cracked the code, flipping the script on American class struggle in the way that Karl Marx himself couldn't have dreamed up. Now, in an ironic twist of fate, Luigi Mangione has become a folk hero, a modern-day Robin Hood, minus the archery skills and the great tights. To a large segment of American population, he has been seen as an hero, modern-day hero, Luigi. The overwork, the underpaid, the ignore, he is the first man to make the wealthy feel actual fear. Not even another country make rich people feel actual fear. It's a man, a little man named Luigi Mangione. Make rich people feared. And it's not just the billionaires sweating, it's their kids, their chauffeur, their overpriced security team who now have earned their ridiculous paychecks. The rich used to laugh at the struggle of the common folks. Now they are the punchline. So as America teeters on the edge, the question remains, is Luigi Mangione a villain, a vigilante, or an accidental revolution American didn't see coming? Either way, the elites might finally understand what it's like to feel powerless. And for the first time, their money can't buy their way out of it. Stay tuned, America. This thriller is just getting started. So the billionaire war on federal workers at a breaking point. America, once seal as a land of opportunity, now teeters on the precipice of internal collapse. The divide between the ultra-rich and the working class has never been starker. Under the second coming of Donald Trump presidency, a new war is unfolding, not against foreign adversary or hostile regimes, but against the backbone of America, its federal workforce. In an unprecedented display of power, billionaire entrenched with Donald Trump's administration, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel and the other South Africans have turned their attention not to revitalize the economy or strengthen national security, but to purge the civil service of hard-working, dedicated Americans, the very people who have dedicated their lives to serving their country. Many are career public servants, veterans and professionals are now being systematically targeted and fired simply for being federal employees. At the forefront of this movement is none other than Elon Musk, a South African-born billionaire who, despite benefiting immensely from US government subsidies and contracts, has now positioned himself as the executioner of the federal workforce. With his tech empire and vast influence, Musk, along with his billionaire allies like Peter Thiel and other members of the ultra-wealthy elite, is not just advocating for small government, he is actively dismantling it. Musk, a foreign-born tycoon, has leveraged his control over technological and communication platforms to wage psychological and economic warfare on American citizens, started with those who serve in federal agencies. His vision is clear: a weakened federal government where billionaires reign supreme and working class citizens are stripped of power, stability, and dignity. This aggressive dismantling of government institutions is no longer just affecting black communities who have been historically borne the brunt of systemic oppression. Now even white Americans who have long believed in security of government jobs and the stability of public service are feeling the heat. For the first time in modern history, white middle-class Americans are experiencing what black people have endured for generations. Economic suppression, government-sanctioned job loss, and stripping away of fundamental rights and securities. But how long can this go on? How long? The rise of Luigi Mangione, a man who, despite coming from wealth, chose to lash out against the billionaire class in one of the most shocking acts of violence in modern America, has ignited a dangerous undercurrent as the rich tighten their grip on power and continue their relentless assault on the working class. It is only a matter of time before more individuals view Luigi not as a criminal but as a revolutionary figure, a symbol of resistance against the elite class that has gone too far. History has shown that when oppression reaches its peak, the reaction is often swift and violent. The question now is not if there will be more backlash, but when. As Musk, Thiel, and their billionaire allies continue their crusade against federal workers and everyday Americans, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The rich have finally awakened the fury of the people they once thought they could control. America is at a crossroads, and the end of this battle is still unwritten. But if history is any guide, no empire, no matter how wealthy and powerful, can suppress its people forever. I hope you enjoy listening to us today. Have yourself a beautiful day.